Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to share this video with you guys and talk a little bit about the GI Bill and its benefits today. I know, obviously, I have that discussion question for you guys, and some of you already answered it. But I wanted to share this with you. My experience here. I was going to give you a whole bunch of facts and figures, but I figured I'd just talk about myself a little bit with the GI Bill and my experiences with it. So when I was between my junior and senior year of high school, my dad came up to me in the summer and he asked me what I planned on doing with the rest of my life after high school. And of course, I looked at my dad and said, "Hey, I want to go to college. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I want to continue my education." My dad said, "That's fantastic. That's great. How are you going to pay for it?" And that was really a question I didn't really think of. If you guys don't know, if you haven't heard from your parents, college is super expensive. It costs a lot of money, and of course, there are different programs, scholarships, and loans. Probably the best, I like to call it a scholarship program, is the GI Bill. Now, when I first enlisted, we were under the program known as the Montgomery GI Bill. There's a newer one called the Post 9/11 GI Bill, which I actually was able to claim some money on too. Um, so, uh, Before my senior year of high school, exactly the day before senior year of high school started, I went up to Military Entrance Processing, MEPS in Harrisburg, and I signed a couple documents and I actually pulled them up here. And this one here is my certificate into the delayed entry program. Basically, down here at the bottom, it states that I will be joining the Army upon completing high school. Oh, excuse me. Is this one? I will join the Army upon completing high school. I will be in for a term of 4 years of active duty. Yep, there, four, right? You can kind of see that. And I will receive a cash bonus and the ACF, which is the Army College Fund, which is something on top of the GI Bill. And I will be a member of the 11 series of infantry. Um, From there, it does say my start of my enlistment date is 16 July of 2002, right? So when I went there, it was August of 2001, about 2 weeks before 9/11. And then here is my statement here when I signed up, right? So you see the 4 years there, cash bonus, Irish College Fund, right? I looked out, right? I got a whopping cash bonus of, does it say it right here? Yeah, right there. $4,000. They take taxes from that, of course, too. Okay, so it's like $3,000, and then I'll receive an additional Army College Fund of up to $50,000. So I got the GI Bill and the Army College Fund, and um, that's how I paid to go to college. Okay, that's how I became a teacher. Again, I served my 4 years, so that's me working for that money. I got out. I registered at Kutztown University. I decided I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to teach history. I always loved history in school, and I always loved my history teachers. I always thought they were the best. Hopefully, like you guys think your history teachers are the best. But if not, history is not everyone's field. But the GI Bill. All right. So some of its benefits that I received. First, I went to Kutztown University for 4 years. It cost me $0. $0. Not only did it cost me $0, but under the old GI Bill, I used to get a monthly payment. The monthly payment was somewhere around like $1,200 a month for every month that I attended school. So 9 months out of the year, I got a check for $1,200 from the United States government. Okay, and that was not taxed. That was a benefit, a grant given to me. Also through PA, I think there was 2 years where I actually got some tuition assistance from the state government itself. So under the new GI, under that older GI Bill, they used to send me the money, and then it was my job to pay the school. So I used to get a deferment from the registrar's office, so that meant I could pay the semester as I kind of go. And Then after I got my first payment, I would pay some, and then once I got my second payment in October, right, I would pay the rest of it, and then basically the rest of October, November, and December, that was all money that I used for housing, for food. Um, to buy books to take care of myself. So I actually kind of made money by going to school a little bit. Um, again, not a lot after you pay all the tuition and everything, but I actually made more money than what it cost me to go to school. Now, when I once I was done with that, once I was done with that, I actually during my senior year of college, I qualified for the new post 9/11 GI Bill. And under the post 9/11 GI Bill, they actually provide like 100% tuition assistance. They send it right to the school. And then you get a housing allowance for the area that you live in. And then you get $500 a semester for books. So I actually was able to then turn my remaining GI Bill, which there wasn't a lot left. I actually used up the rest of it in grad classes. And then the last 2 semesters of grad class, I was under the post 9/11 GI Bill. That covered 100% of my master's tuition at Kutztown University. So I got a bachelor's degree with a teaching certificate in history with the old GI Bill. And with the new one, I got a master's degree in social studies education from Kutztown University. And again, this cost me $0. $0. Um, Obviously, it cost me 4 years of my life, but other than that, right, the education itself cost me $0. I was with that program. I was actually able to. I was subbing at the time, and then I was actually working at a B&G glass shop installing car windshields. So I was actually able to, with that benefit and the housing allowance, my wife and I were actually able to purchase our first home. And I was able to, make sure we made our mortgage payments. And I'm working at a part-time job. Okay. Now, of course, upon graduating from that, and then having $0 worth of college debt, I was able to get a teaching job. And of course, with teaching jobs, the more education you have, the more money that you make in that contract. So it was a huge benefit to me and myself. Other benefits of joining of the GI Bill, that's part of the education part, but you're also covered by the Department of Veterans Affairs. Because I was in combat, I received 5 years of free healthcare. So I went to the VA hospital, and that was my primary care physician. So I got a sinus infection. I went there. The doctor saw me. He read me a prescription. I go down the hall, and they'd give me my amoxicillin or my Z-Pak or whatever it was, and that cost me $0. Um, I qualified for a VA home loan, which allowed my wife and me to buy the house that we live in now. It meant that when we purchased this home, all we had to pay was closing costs. We did not have to pay money down. We didn't have to pay something called mortgage insurance, PMI, which meant that the monthly bill for our house went down $200-300. Ask your parents about PMI payments. I'm sure they can tell you what it is, a couple $100 a month, especially to start, depending on how much money you're able to put down. So of course there are a lot of benefits to that. Again, disclaimer here: I'm not an Army recruiter. I'm not a military recruiter. But it was a great opportunity. There's no way I could be in the situation I am today without the help of that GI Bill program. I'd still be making student loan payments. And there's no way I would be able to support my family the way I do now. I'd probably have to be working at McDonald's on the weekends to try to make some extra money. Um, and again, the cost, the cost to me was my 4 years in the service. Oh, real quick, and I don't have it on. Oh, I have it on here. This is my discharge papers. I covered up my social security number, but it's kind of hard to see. You guys can see there. My enlistment, my official enlistment actually ran out in 2009 because I signed up in 2001. When you sign up for the military, you actually sign up for 8 years. Now I did 4 years active, and then I did 4 years in what was called, well, part of it was in this delayed entry program, and then the other part is what is called the individual ready reserve. Sometimes people falsely call it the inactive reserve. You're inactive unless they call you back up. It's like if we were going to have a military style draft, the first people they would call are the people in the IRR because they already have training. Okay, so keep that in mind too. But with talking about the GI Bill, I just wanted to share some of the benefits. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video and learned a little bit of something. If you have any questions, please send me a message.